Skyzone.Society.
Yo, what's going on, my peoples out there in the zone land? It's your boy Big V. You know what I mean? We here with the Zone Sports Podcast. You know what time it is. I got my homeboy over there. You see him. What's going on, boy?
What's up, man? It's your boy COOL, also known as What the Hell, also known as Corey, man. We in the house, get ready to talk these sports. But you know what, man, before we even get into that, man, you got to let them know how this podcast has been brought to us by, man. Let them know about the people. Who's bringing us this flyness right here?
You know what I mean? Yo, man, before I even do that, man, I just want to give a shout out to my wife right quick. You know what I
Respect.
mean? It's been a long week for my people out there in Zone Land who don't know. You know what I mean? My wife, you know what I mean? She had open heart surgery this week. You know what I mean? Last week now, you know what I mean? She's home now, was in the hospital for a week. You know what I mean? We didn't drop the podcast on Saturday like we normally do. You know what I mean? I was helping my wife. He still recovered from the open heart surgery. It's going to be a process, baby. But you know what, man? I'm in the studio today. I got my L here to celebrate. You know what I mean? I got my glass here. You know what I mean? We're here to celebrate life today, Corey.
Word up.
We're celebrating life today. A lot of people, and on top of that, we celebrate life. But yesterday, too, Monday, May 31st, was my birthday. You know what I mean?
It was somebody's birthday.
It was my birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Big V-ish. Hold on, let me get this up for you here. I'm going to tell you to have a Coke and a smile.
There we go.
You
know what I mean? The boy turned 38 yesterday. You know what I mean? Thank the Lord for everything, man. You know what I mean? Thank the Lord for you.
Especially with all this craziness going on around here. Between the violence and COVID and everything.
Facts, man. Definitely. I thank the Lord for you too, Corey, man, for being a good friend during these times. You know what I mean? Being the ear I could talk
Respect.
to. You know what I mean?
Reciprocated backwards, homeboy. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Sticking out through this podcast, we're episode 11. You know what I mean? We on our way, baby. You know what I mean?
Word up.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we here to celebrate the day, not only life, but sports too. But yeah, you know who the podcast bought to you by? Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. Make sure you go get these hoodies, these hats. We got the tees, the candles, all your needs. You know what I mean? Independent style. Support the brand. Yo, lot to get into with the sports world. You know, we're going to set it off. We're going to set it off with the NBA talk, though. You know how we love the NBA. You know what I mean?
Man, love the NBA.
Love the NBA. You know what I mean? Yo, man, my people's out there in Zone Land. We're going to get into this playoff talk, man, and how we've been feeling about the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The playoffs been popping off right after the play-in. Shit is getting heated. Niggas is getting swept. Yo, what is going on, Corey? How have you been feeling about these playoffs? You know what I mean? Man. So far, these past week or so, how have you been feeling, man?
I have. Let me hit you from the macro, then I'm gonna hit you with the micro level. I think in totality, I think the NBA does a good job. Now, I still wish that they would go back to the best 3 out of 5 format. In the NBA playoffs, but you know, because of money getting taken out of pockets, that's just not how things work. But given the scenario of it's the best 4 out of 7, I think that they do a real good job. And I actually think the game, I'm an NBA junkie anyway, so I'm watching whether it's blowouts or not. But I think the totalities of the storylines is great. Like you talking about for example, with Boston and Brooklyn. The whole issue with, even though that's a blowout, you got, and forget the fan issues. I mean, you got Kyrie stepping on the Boston Celtics logo, logo as a Lakers fan, I really didn't find too much issue with that, but that's another story. You know, you go to the Trailblazers and the Nuggets, tied 2-2. I mean, I smell a game 7. Obviously, due to mathematics, it's going to go to at least a game 6. You know what I'm saying? You got Philly that could have put out Washington last night. Didn't happen. The closeout games, or they say that the man say, and his boys say, closeout games is some of the hardest to get to. Oh Lord! And then we talk about our beloved Lakers, aka Anthony Davis, aka Glass Joe, aka we might need to watch the hell out, aka the Phoenix Suns and CP3 is back on track. So you know you got stuff like that going on. You know you want to talk about other things with the Jazz and the Grizzlies with daggone Donovan Mitchell coming back and having that series up 3-1. I mean, overall, what I love about the NBA and especially the playoffs, is the drama. And again, we ain't even talking about the fan. I don't want to give that. We're gonna touch into that later. Obviously, we're not gonna give these clowns too much time, but we will give them a little bit. But I'm talking strictly of the storyline, man. This shit's like watching a movie. You know what I'm saying? And it just so happens it involves basketball players. You know what I'm saying? From the coaches with my man Doc Rivers from Philly, you know, not wanting to pull out Ben Simmons with him, you know, catching stage fright, shooting free throws. I mean, it is so, and these are just story angles off the top of my head. And not only is it off the top of my head, this is just round one. This is beautiful. This is great. I'm telling you. Now, don't get me wrong. We are March Madness freaks, and it's so much of the unpredictability. The structure of March Madness alone sells the drama. You normally don't get this type of drama in a best of 7 series, be it baseball or basketball. The past couple of years, the NBA first round's been like this. Man, this is just fun stuff to watch. It's fun stuff, man. What say you, bro?
Man, let me tell you something, man. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's been a fucking movie, my nigga. It has been a nothing
Absolutely.
short. And I'm talking about when I say a movie, I'm not talking about some kind of rom-com or none of that bullshit. Yeah. We talking action packed Bruce Willis in the 90s, nigga, movie style. I'm talking about even down to the fouls have been 90s style fouls. Man,
bro.
Listen. Man,
yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm talking about you coming in that hole. You better be prepared to be taking a fucking elbow, something. Because guess what, man? They playing 90 style ball down there this year, baby, in 2021. And
you took the words right out of my mouth.
Man, guess what I'm loving? You know what I'm loving about it? The refs are letting it happen. They are letting it happen. Oh, they letting it happen. And I'm fucking loving it. I'm McDonald's over here. I am.
It's 2 different seasons.
It is
2 different seasons.
Oh my God.
This is great.
Man, listen, man. Let me tell you, man. Yo, I'm talking about no matter what game you're watching, it is a fucking movie out there.
It's something in every single game, bro.
Man, listen. Oh
every single one.
Every single one. And I'm talking about
one. Yeah.
I'm talking about like nothing beyond a movie, regardless if it's a blowout game or it's a tight-knit game going to OT feeling like it has been nothing but a movie. I mean, you got the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets, like you said. You got Kyrie going and stopping on the logo. I'm loving that. Man. I'm loving the trash talk. I get on Twitter after the New York Knicks game, and this is game 2. I get on Twitter after the Knicks game. Again, the Knicks and Atlanta game, and of course, you know I follow Reggie Bullock. He from the K. I gotta follow Reggie Bullock.
252, respect.
You know what I mean? My man Reggie Bullock tweeted after game 2. He said, "Yo, run it back." He said, "Run it back when we in the 8. We with the shits." Oh, yes.
I mean,
yes.
And you know, real quick. I love what you just said and what Mr. 252, aka Reggie Bullock, just said, because you bring it back to like street ball back in our neighborhoods and really across America. The core essence of basketball is shit talking.
Absolutely.
I'm better than you. I'm gonna show you why, and there ain't nothing you could do about it. Please continue. I love that Reggie Bullock said that. It's a 2-5 thing. It's a 252 thing. Some of y'all might not understand, but that's how it works.
And you know what I did? I went right behind that and retweeted it and put Kinston. You damn right. You did talk your shit, young man. You know what I mean? It's that. And it's not only the tweeting. It's these boys are coming to the court ready to do damage, Corey. Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
This playoffs, man. And like you said, this is only round 1. It is shaping up to be
only round 1.
One of the best playoffs I've seen in my lifetime, Corey. And I'm talking about, you know, usually the first round, we get a couple of teams that don't really need to be there.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, everybody this playoff season is showing why they're there. You got the Wizards still out here trying to fight to come back and pull off something unbelievable. You got the
Yeah,
you got the series, man, with the Grizzlies and the Jazz with the young man
yeah,
Donovan Mitchell and the young man John
yeah,
Morant. They going back and forth.
yeah.
I mean, you got Rudy Gobert down there blocking John Morant and talking cash shit. And John like, nah, I'll be back. John Morant said, I'll be back. No worry, I'll be back. And I
I'll
like
be
that
back.
about John. I like that about John. Even though he shouldn't be
Ja's a
back,
gangster.
he's against. Even though
Yeah,
he shouldn't be back, because Rudy Gobert down there 7 feet, he gonna toss your shit, John. I'm ready to tell you, John, you can't get Rudy Gobert. I don't think you can get Rudy. I don't think so, because he's a monster. He comes to play. Obviously, you know that.
yeah,
You know why you know that, Mr. Morant. He blocked this shit with two
yeah,
hands. And I'm gonna move on from there. I'm
yeah,
gonna move on from there. But
yeah,
boy, let me tell you, man, you got them boys down there in Portland, man, they fighting.
yeah,
And you got Denver, they fighting. You got the fucking Heat who were in the championship game last year, who have gotten
yeah,
swept. They have gotten swept.
yeah,
They're out of here.
yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you,
I
man,
mean,
it is literally a script in every fucking scenario.
it is. Even with the Clippers, who we thought was about to on the verge of getting swept, they came back and came back alive. And I mean, man,
It's unbelievable.
storylines just oozing all over the place.
And I'm loving it, man. I mean, like you said, man,
Yeah,
you got the Lakers storyline, which is tough. It is tough right
yeah,
now. We got AD. I'm gonna go on record and say, man, AD won't be back for this specific series. And that's if we move on.
that's
He
what a
may
lot of people
return.
are saying.
He won't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on record and say he won't be back, bro, for this series. He won't. I'm sorry. And as
yeah.
bad as
I'm
we need him,
hoping.
he won't be back. He
Yeah,
won't.
yeah, and that's the conundrum. So we said we was going, or I said I was going macro. Now macro. Now let's go micro to our Lakers. The thing is, man, it's like we can't play them tonight, obviously. The good thing is I'm not going to say we're playing with house money, but we can afford to sit him this game. Depending on how things go, we could possibly afford to sit him the next game with the deal of, man, KCP. I think he comes back tonight. I think KCP comes back tonight.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Montrezl Harrell has been on some DNPs from Frank Vogel. I don't know. Look, I trust Frank with the matchup. So for whatever reason, he has not had Montrezl Harrell in. I don't even think he had him in his series at all. And he does that from time to time, or whatnot. So I'm not sure matchup wise. You know, I know Aiton's a beast, and all that, but I don't know. I'm not a coach. I'm a computer geek. I don't know how personnel and all that stuff's supposed to
Yeah.
work. But man, I'm telling you, we're gonna need people to step up. Kyle Kuzma, my man Key is gonna laugh his ass off when I say this, because I've been the one blowing the trumpet for Kyle Kuzma to keep him when we could have traded him. And I said no. I told my man Key no, because I said it seems like any person that we get worth a damn, we end up getting rid of them in the draft, because we Lakers historically, we draft, but we're more of a free agent destination, so we don't really
Yeah.
give a shit about like drafting and
Yeah.
developing players. Like, we don't have 85 years for you to get it right, and things of that nature, stuff like that. But I mean, you look
We're
at
now organization.
yeah, I mean, you look at Julius Randle. Julius Randle is just now starting to pop, or whatnot. You look at a few others that we let go, that finally, started to kind of turning around. We kind of need
Yeah.
that now deal.
Yeah.
I mean, go kind of backing up a little bit. I kind of wish we would have, and I'm biased, even though he went to Duke. I wish we would have kept Brandon Ingram, another 252 alumni. Me personally, I like this game a bit better. I think he's a bit more consistent with it, or whatnot. Outside of that, Lonzo Ball, I could have taken him or leaving him, being that LeBron runs point anyway, or whatnot. But I hoped and I wish that we could have kept Brandon Ingram for the obvious 252 reasons over Kyle Kuzma, because the thing is, I'm gonna tell you real quick. Look, he reminds me of Lamar Odom. And what do you mean by that? I'm not saying necessarily style of play per se,
And
but back
you
when
speaking
the
on
Kobe,
Kuzma? You speaking on Kuzma
I'm speaking on Kuzma. I'm speaking
okay,
on Kuzma right
okay,
now.
okay.
He reminds me of Lamar Odom, who was also a good player, but a streaky player. But the point I'm getting at is that whenever Lamar Odom was on fire during the Shaq and Kobe era, especially during the Kobe era, we're not losing the ball game. We're not.
Okay.
Between Kobe, Paul Gasol, and Lamar Odom on fire, we cannot be beaten. I feel the same exact way with Kyle Kuzma, assuming that LeBron James and Anthony Davis is in the game, but he's so streaky and you can't count on him, and it drives me insane. And Key, you was right, you bastard.
Well, see, I kind of disagree with you on that. I don't see him as
Okay.
a Lamar Odom, because Lamar Odom was way better than him. I can't give him that.
Oh, no question.
And this is no slight to who I'm going to compare him to, but this is just in reference to who we have on the team right now. He could easily be a Trevor Ariza type of player, and Trevor was cold. You know what I mean? Trevor was a bad boy. Trevor was a bad boy when he played for our organization and won the championship.
Oh, heck yeah, he was.
Trevor Ariza was a key part in that championship that we won. And
no doubt.
And I say that when I say that, I mean, if Kuzma plays his position and can stop being so fucking streaky, because that was the thing with Ariza. He plays position.
That's the issue.
He played defensive well. And he was ready to shoot. He always stayed ready to shoot.
Yeah.
I need Kyle Kuzma to know, my nigga, we need you to stay ready. Stop coming in half-ass and shit. We need you coming off that bit. Because here's the thing, Corey, and this is to piggyback off your point, off of players that I wish we could have kept around. Keeping it G, I wish we could have kept all the motherfuckers. So guess what, man? Later on down the road, and this could be, and this is the thing with us as Lakers, and we're gonna move on from this, man. As Lakers, as an organization, I think that we need to have more patience. I think that we are a win now organization because that's how historically we have been. But sometimes I feel like we need to give players the opportunity to gel. We give these young guys 2 or 3 years, and that's it. And then later on down the road, we get niggas like Julius Randle, most improved player. We get niggas like Clarkson, who is now the 6th man of the year this year. You know what I mean?
You want to look at another guy who I like that we got rid of, Zubac, who's with the Clippers. I didn't agree with the timing of I ain't agree with getting rid of him at all, but during the timing when Magic Johnson was, I'm like, man, you got rid of Zubac.
Bad timing.
What? And I'm saying, look, if you're gonna get a good pick or some good trades for him, that's one thing. We got rid of that mug for a bag of peanuts, bro.
Yeah, and look at him now. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. And I mean, then like you said, we got rid of Lonzo Ball and as well as Brandon Ingram. And those players are developing, you know what I mean, into who they need to be.
Yeah.
Lonzo is,
and I get it. Hindsight's 2020, but man.
But here's the thing. It don't have to be if you don't move so fucking fast. That's my point.
Yeah.
If you and I get it, you know, we wanted LeBron and everything like that. I get
it's the LeBron effect. He normally gets rid of a lot of young players. So I think that's part of it too.
I get it. But it's a lot of
it got us a championship last year. I get it. You know, I don't have to like it, but it got us the ship last year. Like,
yeah. But also a lot of those players were gotten rid of before LeBron. And to me, when I say that, I mean, as an organization, you already have your mind made up. We're going to get this guy 2 years. You already kicking him out the door when you get him. We got to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that, bro. We have to stop.
And you know what? Real quick, I know we got to move on. There was a report out today that NBA execs expect for, if the Lakers don't really do a serious playoff push, that there's going to be hellified turnover on that team because we got a shitload of free agents. With Schroeder, I know he wants a max, not a max, but he wants a bigger contract. I think we offered him like 80 something. He didn't want that. Down the line, from Caruso, I think the only other person that's safe who seems to always be safe in these type of deals is KCP. But damn near everybody else is on the block right now outside LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, man, and we're gonna have to cover that a whole other podcast because
But I love the NBA.
I got some things about that situation I would like to personally speak on another podcast. We can speak on that on episode 12 of
Fair enough.
what will happen if this season isn't a championship season for
Yeah.
the Lakers, because like you said, it's a lot of pieces that are going to get moving and shaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
speak, we're gonna keep it moving and shaking with the NBA and how the fans are and how the fans are back, but the fans are wilding. You know what I mean? If you haven't been watching the NBA, ladies and gentlemen, the fans are back and the fans are super wilding. Russell Westbrook, after an injury during the Philadelphia game, during one of the games during the series, he was exiting the gym, and a fan decided to throw popcorn on him from the stands. Another incident happened with Kyrie Irving leaving the Boston game. A fan also threw a bottle as well, a plastic bottle, trying to hit Kyrie Irving wherever
full
he
of
wanted
water.
to.
So it wasn't an empty bottle.
Oh, it was full of water. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Oh,
Full of water. Oh,
full of water.
that some bitch was full. It wouldn't have made it down there if it wasn't.
Man, and another the one that I really just find disgusting as fuck was the incident in New York with Trae Young, where a fan spit on Trae Young during the New York Knicks and versus Atlanta game. That is fucking bananas, man. Fans, we love you. I'm gonna let Corey go first, and man, what are your thoughts on the fans being completely back still with COVID around? And what are your thoughts on how these three isolated incidences have just came about, man?
I love that the fans are back. I forgot how dope it was to watch sports with live fans there. I'm also a WWE fan. I know it's gonna be dope. I want to say back in July when they start having people there instead of the Thunderdome, but that's another story. Let's stay on topic here because I'm super passionate about this. Everybody should be. You're a human being. I think that some of it is just you being cooped up. Maybe you don't know how to handle your liquor, your whatever. I'm not really in the business for making excuses for these clowns. I'm just throwing things out there. But dude, you got to pipe down because, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't think you look at your four major sports, NBA, NFL, MLB, and hockey, right? And you look at the separation of fans from the fans to the players, where in hockey you got a shield of fiberglass or glass up around the whole rink. You look at MLB where you have netting behind home plate. You look at football. I mean, you're a good 20 to 30 yards away from the field of play when it comes to this. And NBA, while I do love the NBA, they pride themselves on having a intimate settings with the fans. And what sucks is that they provide this, and you probably got like 95% of the people who take it easy and do things like this. You spoke on issues with Russell Westbrook, and we're going to touch on all of these. But even last year, I can't remember I don't know if Russell was at home or if he was in Utah. He had an incident in Utah too. That's another story where a fan courtside rushed the court to get in Russell Westbrook's face for whatever reason. I'm talking about, and of course, by the time security got there, Russell almost had to knuckle up on this guy. This just happened last year. Russell in Utah, where you got a white man telling him to get on your knees. You know what I'm saying? Get on your knees like you're supposed to. So you got a whole bunch of different dynamics going on here. Me personally, as a person, I've probably only been to 2 to 3 NBA games in my entire life. So I'm probably not the best person to ask, but I think that the NBA needs to get rid of courtside seats, and have those off to corporate sponsors, kind of similar to what they're doing now with some of the games where you just have like an advertisement of such and such company, Coca-Cola, and talk that out. Because the thing is, man, it's all fun and games for somebody get hurt. And you know what the problem that I have with the NBA is that we borderline ostracize your players like Ron Artest, who, in my opinion, did exactly what any forget black person. This is black and white, but this is he done what any red-blooded human being would have done in the malice of the palace. It is unfortunate that it came to that. But see, the problem that I got, Big V, is that, well, the fans, they could do what they want. And what do you mean by that, Corey? Well, no, they're going to get such and such. Well, hold on. I just told you, Big V, I've probably only been to 2 or 3 NBA games in my entire life. Let's just say I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan and they go to Spectrum Arena. Oh, well, I act the fool and I get banned from Spectrum. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm probably not going to go back there anyway. It doesn't matter. And not only that, Big V, okay, well, cool. You can mess around and say Corey's not going to be able to get any tickets to the Spectrum Center in Charlotte or whatever it's called, Time Warner, whatever the hell it's called. Well, let me ask you something, Big V. I never worked the gate before. I don't think you ever worked the gate before. When you have an event of any kind, be it a concert, football, basketball, and you got 15 to 20,000 people come in, the security or whoever is at the gate ain't gonna give two shits long as that ticket scans in properly. Okay, so what you gonna do? You gonna check every season? See, I'm bringing a point here. The NBA said they're banning these fans for life. Okay, well, how do you ban them? Because I could get one of my homeboys to get me tickets to a game. Since I can't purchase them on my own via Ticketmaster or via the wheel call or however you do it. How do you do that? The point I'm getting at is how do you enforce that, right? All right, so number one, to me, hey, unless somebody who works gates and all that stuff know that they could do it, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you sit here and scan a face or whatever and be like, hey, no, motherfucker, you ain't supposed to be here. Get out, whatever. So you bring it back to, well, what is the NBA doing about it? And I think the better question is, what can they do about it? They're not the law. They can't really press charges. So on the other end, I feel like that they are doing the best they can. But at the same time, the minute a player knuckle up and put his hands on somebody, Ron Artest was talking about how he lost so many endorsements. He was banned for a long time, definitely for the rest of that season. Jermaine O'Neal, who was also involved, and Steven Jackson, I think they may have caught like 30-something games or whatever. But for whatever reason, Ron Artest, and I remember this like it was yesterday, he caught the brunt of that punishment because someone threw beer on him. Look, I'm not going to ask you what you would do. You from the 252. And you know what? Nah, scratch that. It ain't even no 252 thing. Okay. What I will say in regards to the 252, if you throw a beer in one of our faces, I could guarantee you that the penalty and punishment would be way more severe than probably anywhere else outside of Compton, California. I would tell you that. So what can we do? What can the NBA do? Shit. I don't know what you can do. These guys they said the guy in the Boston incident has been charged. Okay. I was watching Inside the NBA this morning.
Draymond Green real quick. I want to know what they charged him with. What did they charge him with?
Battery and assault.
Okay, go ahead.
Battery and assault. And so Draymond Green, who was filling in for Shaq, because Charles was like, oh, well, that's good. He got arrested. And Draymond Green really made a good point. He said, well, just because you're charged don't necessarily mean you're going to jail. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, dang, I think he just said something. Just because you charged don't mean you going to jail. And see, I want to follow this similar to how we follow in the Chad Wheeler deal. Because here's the thing, and that's why I wanted to interrupt you earlier when you say he threw a water bottle. He threw a water bottle full of water, because if it was just something super light, it's no way to have that. And I'm not a forensic scientist or nothing like that, but there's no way it can have that type of trajectory. That mug has some distance, velocity, and some heat on that thing. Now, if you want to argue that Kyrie shouldn't have stomped on the logo, hey, I give you that there. But now what as a fan makes you think that that's right to throw that from that far of a distance? I mean, that to me is insane. I go back to my earlier statement. I'm gonna let you rock. The NBA with like, especially like, I think the tarped areas where the players walk in through the tunnel back and forth, they need to either push that back And you're not going to be able to prevent all of it, obviously. But they need to push that back. They need to kill courtside seats. Because this is out of hand. This is out of hand. And then you know what? If y'all learn how to act, then maybe we could discuss bringing it back. Because the first thing the NBA is going to say, oh, well, it's the money this and money that. Okay, well, cool. We'll do what you've been doing this year and during the bubble, where you have corporate sponsors that'll buy the tarps off and do this, that, and the third. This is ridiculous. I mean, you had a fan, shit, what game was it? Was it Washington in the Philly game? Well, they ran onto the court. Old buddy smacked the backboard, and he got tackled. And the security guard that tackled him, he tackled him all nice by the legs, and like it was a real textbook NFL, 2021 tackle. Nah, he should have Lawrence Taylor his ass right in the damn chest. And I tell you what. If I'm a security company, or if an idiot makes it down to the floor, security, you are fired. This is coming from a person who used to do security. Okay. You let that motherfucker get all the way on the court, sprint like he's motherfucking Carl Lewis mixed with a side of Jackie Joyner Kersey during the game. This ain't doing a timeout. And go up and touch the backboard. You're fired. That's that. Look, some of this may sound unreasonable, but that's just, I get so heated about this, man, because this is stupid, and we got to quit putting these people's faces on TV. I get it on one end. If you want the social media shame them, I think that's cool. But I think another thing before I let you rock, we got to quit saying the names of these people. And I'm not saying we know the names of all of them, but we got to quit putting them on TNT, ESPN, because this is going to continue. In baseball and football, the camera cuts away immediately. The NBA does not. So for these idiots, they're like, hey, they want their little 10, 15 seconds of fame. We are giving it to them. But because everybody else is talking about it, we have to talk about it too. The floor is yours, Floor General.
Yeah, man.
Shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. I agree with you on a lot of what you said, man. I'm gonna start from the top with, man. I'm definitely glad that the fans are somewhat back in some arenas. I like that. What I don't like is the fans being 100% back. Corey, COVID is still around. COVID is still alive and well.
I ain't even brought that up.
COVID is still out here.
Talk to him.
And when I turn on the New York Knicks game and I see that shit full capacity, it makes me fucking itch. It makes me itch. I could almost vomit for all the COVID that is sitting in that building. Yo, 80% of the people are not vaccinated, at least 80%. 80% of those people in that gym, I guarantee you, aren't vaccinated. And for the people out there that listen, I'll say, hey, I heard that they're taking vaccination cards when you come in. Newsflash, you can get a fake vaccination card out here. They're giving them out like
cats get fake IDs, bro. Come on.
They have that now. They have the fake.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They have the fake vax cards going around. You have fake vax dealing cards going around. Newsflash for the people out there that aren't street. Sorry, they are. They have it. So when I see that, I don't like it because I mean, again, it's my opinion. I feel like shit should still be limited. I don't think that schools should be at 100%. I don't think that restaurants should be at 100%. I understand.
Don't get me started, bro.
I understand the side of it where businesses have to stay afloat and they need to make money. I'm a small businessman myself. I've been impacted by this thing too, but I have learned to cope with it and do what I need to do and find my ways to work my businesses in different areas and do it safely. And I just feel like these gyms, so to speak, these NBA gyms and things that are at 100%, because it's not all of them. It's not all of them.
Yeah.
It's just some.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's too risky. And I will say this: when I look at the TV and I scan the building, a lot of them are wearing masks. So let me take my hat off to that.
Yeah.
A lot of the people are there are wearing masks, and that is safe. I want to make that clear. People are being as safe as you possibly can, and especially the people that are on the front row, they're wearing masks. You know what I mean? You see 50 Cent down there in the Knicks game, he got his mask on. 90% of the people there are wearing masks. I want to say that. And are keeping their mask on the entire game, seemingly, I assume, by the eye test on TV.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I want to talk about the nasty motherfucker that spit on Trae Young.
Talk to him.
It is COVID season, and you are spitting on niggas. What the fuck are you doing? A nigga like you should be pounded the fuck out. Pounded the fuck out.
Man.
Fuck banning you fuck banning you from the spot. Trae Young should be allowed 10 minutes with you alone. You got the audacity to be a nasty motherfucker and disrespect a man who out here putting in work on the court and can't do shit about it. Because let me tell you something. If he turns around, goes in that stand, and Steven Jackson your ass, now he got a problem. A way bigger problem than your nasty ass who spit on him. Because you a nasty
His sponsors will be gone. His sponsor will be gone.
And you know what? I don't like that.
Even though he's in the right.
And that's the thing I don't like, because as a sponsor, let me tell you something. I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say, hey, Trae Young goes in there and beats the shit out of dude, rightfully so. And I'm sponsoring him through Skyzone.Society. If y'all think for one fucking second, just because I would be a national, I would even take it down a bit. Just because I would be a local sponsor and I see him do that, if you think I'm going to take my Skyzone.Society sponsorship away from said Trae Young, if he does that, you got me fucked up.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
You have to be understanding about certain situations. You know what I mean? It's not like he's fucking Chad Will out here and beating the shit out of women.
Talk to him.
And again, you know, they said Chad Willer has a mental health thing going on. So I want to be clear about that too. But still, if that narrative is true or if it ain't true, that picture is way worse than you getting spat on and the NBA player going up there and beating the shit out of somebody that spat. If you stand for somebody that spit on a nigga, you shouldn't even be around. You shouldn't be around doing anything. For real. Because that's below being a human being. You can yell whatever to Trae Young, Trae Young, you suck, Trae Young, fuck you, whatever else you want to say.
Yeah.
But you go off and pull your nasty ass mask down like you Scorpion on Mortal Kombat, getting ready to blow the fire.
You know what I'm saying?
And you spit on this man? Get the fuck out of here. Yo, fuck you, man.
Bro.
Fuck you. If you to the nigga that spat on Trae Young, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And I tell you what, man. Trae Young has a heart of gold, and I get it. He may come from a different creed where you don't handle law to handle your issues or whatever. But I have no idea why he did not press charges, because I'm of the mindset of, you could forgive a dude, right? Like if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I'm still pressing charges because the precedent is set. Like, look, man. Again, I don't want to make it a 252 thing because it's not. Again, this is a red-blooded human being thing, man. I've had a person back when I was younger try to spit on me, and we commenced to fighting. Like it was just straight up, like we just fought, and people had to pull us off. But I tell you what, ain't get spit on no more. You can argue who did or didn't win the fight, but you made a real good point about hypothetically if you were sponsoring Trae Young. And I think that there comes a point of time where everything needs to be investigated, right? And I think the sponsors, they either don't have the balls, and I get it. I'm not an entrepreneur like you are. I work for the man. So it's easier for me to say that. And I say that with all the respect in the world for anyone who may be having any type of sponsorship. But I'm telling you, man, when it comes to a scenario like that, you have to understand it's really with sponsorships, it should be real simple. You know what? If this happened to you, what would you do? Well, I would have punched him out. Then I should be able to keep my stuff. You know, what if that was your son getting spit on? What if that was your little girl getting spit on? What if that was your mama getting spit on? What if that was your wife getting spit on? What was ever your husband getting spit on? Like, bro, like out of all of these stories, they're all bad. You know, from the water bottle incident. But yeah, you're right. I'm not rating all of these, but man, boy, if I had to put one at the top, that spitting shit, man, like,
well, you know what?
Boy, and it ain't no, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know what I would do. If this happened to me on a job, I would lose my job.
Right.
Come on.
And you know what, Corey? You know, that ain't even my number one about the NBA fan bullshit that's been going on. I want to speak to the people who are yelling obscenities at John Morant's family. That's what I want to talk about.
Oh gosh.
Um,
Oh boy.
um,
Mm. Mm. Talk to the people.
Corey,
Gosh.
you know, I'm an entrepreneur, so I understand the business of keeping the courtside seats, and I understand the money that is involved in the
Yeah.
not and just not only the money. I understand the notoriety of the courtside seats. You have people like Jack Nicholas, of course, who sits
Yeah.
courtside at the Lakers game. You might see Denzel
Yeah.
Washington at the Lakers game or the Knicks game. Of course, you have Spike Lee at the Knicks game. I understand the fandom and I understand the notoriety and everything that comes along with it. McCory, I like what you said about maybe they should ban, the courtside seats, and I like seeing the gyms that don't have the courtside seats right now, and then it is just tarped
Yeah.
off. I like seeing that because
Yeah.
it is safe right now during COVID, and it is now really protecting the fans, and that's what maybe that
Yeah.
and maybe other organizations should maybe think about doing that going long term, even post COVID. But
Yeah.
even so, I don't give a fuck if you're sitting in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
What gives you the right to sit here and threaten another man's family, speak to another
Mm.
man's family a certain way,
Come on, man.
yell racial
Come on.
obscenities to a man's family, to a single individual, whoever? Yo, I don't know. I I don't know what gets into people when they purchase these NBA tickets. I don't know if because I
I
want to
don't
be
either, bro.
because I want to be clear because I've been to a couple of NBA games in my lifetime, like you said, maybe 2 to 3, like you said, and when I bought my tickets, I didn't get an entitlement slip. I didn't receive one. I don't know about and again I
I
say
missed the
that
memo on that.
and again, Corey, maybe I did too because I don't and again I don't know where you sat when you went and where you've been, but for me personally, I've never been nowhere near close to courtside. So maybe that's why I
Yeah.
missed. Maybe that's why I didn't get an entitlement slip. Maybe when you sit in the nosebleeds, like my money paid for, you get entitlement slips. So I mean you don't get entitlement slips. So when you get courtside seats, and you can afford that. Maybe it comes with entitlement slips because I don't have. I'm not in that tax
Maybe.
bracket, so I don't know. I know
Yeah.
I know when you get a certain tax bracket, it's certain things that the poor aren't privy to. Because I know like when you get a certain tax bracket, or when
Maybe that's it.
yeah, because I know like when you get in a certain tax
Yeah.
bracket,
Yeah.
or you reach a certain level of fame, it's a different Instagram
Yeah.
from the one. It's a different Instagram for the one that me and you use.
Maybe.
It's a
You
different.
might be on to something, Big V.
It's a different Twitter. It's all they get different privileges with their Instagram and
Oh,
Twitter that we're not privy to.
maybe that's it.
So maybe when you
Yeah,
buy
you're
a
right.
courtside seat with NBA and things like that, maybe you get different treatment like Instagram and Twitter that we're not privy to.
I stand corrected.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe it comes with entitlement slips, Corey. Maybe so. I can't speak to that.
Yes.
Because I'm
not rich enough to even know that. Yeah,
you
you're
have
right.
it.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
you
do.
have it. Maybe they
It's
do,
a whole bunch of
Corey.
things that rich people know that I probably won't ever know. Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it. I digress because I don't know, and maybe I don't think I would ever be there to even know. But I think if I reach said pedestal, I would read the entitlement slip and still be like, this isn't human. Like you give me the right to throw bottles, popcorn, and verbally assault another man's family right here because I sit here.
Yeah.
I don't think that I would find that human being like. I don't think so. This is me because guess what?
No.
I'm a fucking human being.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was taught to not to spit on people. I was taught to not threaten another man's family unless you're prepared to take it there. And not be a coward like you motherfuckers out there who are throwing popcorn, throwing bottled waters and threatening another man's family. Like I don't get you cowards, especially you cowards like Russell, like the guy out there in Utah and the people who were threatening John Morant's family. Yeah. Yo, fuck y'all. This is a fuck y'all segment, by the way. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck the nigga that spit on Trae Young. Fuck the people that threatened John Morant's family. Fuck the people that threw the water ball at Kyrie. Fuck the guy that threw the popcorn. Simply. That's it.
You know, this shit reminds me of almost a zoo-like mentality.
Oh my God.
You know, look at them. They're in the fishbowl, or they're this, that, and the third. Oh, you can curse at them and talk at them and throw shit at them. Hey, look how quick they run. Oh, let me see how quick they could get riled up. You know, I don't have a child yet, right? You know, but when I do have one, and if we go to the zoo or anything like that, you know, especially if you got like a tiger or whatever behind like a fiberglass or however thick the glass is or whatever, and I would tell my little son or little girl, like, oh yeah, if you want to look at the tiger, go ahead and look at him, but don't be tapping on the window. Don't be antagonizing. See, don't do that, because see, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to be the perfect parent, but I'm telling you, it's all about the energy that is kept. What I would clearly tell our child is that, you know what, don't do nothing to that tiger or that lion that you wouldn't do if that glass wasn't separating you. What does that mean? Well, it's the problem with the NBA fans and these players, because Bradley Beal said it best. Oh, these cats wouldn't do this to me in the street because they know what would happen.
Absolutely,
you know,
not.
They wouldn't do it. None of these guys. None of these guys would come up to any of these players. And you look at somebody like a Russell Westbrook, right? Who by NBA standards isn't tall. But look, I'm 5'8", 5'9", bro. Like, this guy is in the best shape of his life. My best fitness day can't even compare to his in his dreams, right? Like, or vice versa. You know, I could never be what he is physically in my dreams, in my own mind. If all things being fair and equal, no equalizers, no guns, no bats, nothing like that, Russell Westbrook could mop the floor with me without little to no effort. And that's the guy you want to run up on? Come on, man. They do this stuff because they know shit ain't gonna happen, and therein lies the problem. That's why I love what Charles Barkley said. Oh, that fan? Yeah, go ahead and bring him on down here and put him in the locker room for about 10 minutes. But see, we can't do that. But that's what I would love to happen.
And real quick, I want to disagree with you, man, about them showing their faces. I love the fact that they show who they are. I fucking love the exposure. I love it, because you know what that does, Corey? In the grand scheme of things, it puts them on blast at a national level. And I've heard of people losing their jobs behind said situations like this. And I love it. When it affects
that's about the only part that I do agree with.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's all, and that's why I love when they show.
That's the only part.
Yeah. I just love the fact that they disrespect, that the NBA or the press turns around and disrespects them by putting the light on their face and show who they are, so said employer and everybody else can see, hey, this guy's a fucking coward right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the only part I agree with. That's it.
Yeah, man.
That's it. Touche.
So let's switch sports, man, and let's go to the MLB real quick for my baseball people. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, this isn't something that we want to celebrate, and this isn't something that we are here to kid around about, or make light of, how we do sometimes and joke around and laugh about in this podcast about just certain things that we just find funny sometimes. Yeah, man. If you haven't heard here, or if you don't keep up with the baseball world as much as me or Corey may do, Atlanta Braves baseball player Marcelo Ozuna, and I think I'm pronouncing his name right, was arrested.
It's good enough.
Thank you. Was arrested for domestic violence here recently. They said that he got into a domestic dispute with his wife, and the cop said that the cop actually saw him choking his wife in the hallway. Yeah, the cop actually saw him. This nobody was called. I'm guessing the cop was passing by and they said that the front door was open. I don't know if the
Mm-hmm.
cop was on foot or walking. Some way or another, the cops saw him in his home in Ozuna's home, choking his wife out in the hallway, and also what was reported by People Weekly were that he also tried to or did assault his wife with the cast that he has on because he's currently on the injured reserve in
Injured.
baseball, and
Yeah.
he has a cast on, and they said that he reportedly had hit his wife a couple of times with the cast, um, which is crazy. I want to share. I want to go first and share light on a couple things. Just first and foremost, of course, y'all know we don't, condone any of this behavior. We respect women on this podcast. Me and Corey are both
Yep.
married, happily married
Yep.
men. I have daughters as well. And I know people say, men out here that beat women and have daughters as well and everything like that. I get it. You're right. And I'm not saying that to put us on some kind of pedestal. I'm just simply saying that, we do not condone by any means, if you've been following this podcast anyway, we don't
Yeah.
condone any domestic violence situations. You know what I mean? I've even put myself in out here and saying I've been in domestic violence situations and it's been bad. I hated it, you know what I mean? You just have to do the right thing that's for you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And hitting your wife with a cast is obviously not the right thing to do. And I just want to share some light on some things before we move on about the situation, because during these situations we oftentimes just go straight to the man and say, "Man, dude, it's all your fault. What were you thinking? Everything, you know what I mean?" And again, this is no way to co-sign anything. I just want to give some history on on their situation. Um, I want to read this from people.com. Let me find it here because I want to be fair and I want to be correct before I start my statement. Okay. Uh, of course, we mentioned this incident right here where he was brought up on charges for domestic violence, but we often highlight the man in situations. But I want to shed some light on the situation that his wife was arrested for as well. Genesis, which is the name of his wife, Genesis was arrested and charged with domestic battery in June 2020 after she allegedly hit Ozuna with a soap dish, causing a small laceration on his face, according to Fox Sports 640's Andy Slater. She pleaded not guilty at the time and was ordered to stay away from her husband. Corey and ladies and gentlemen out there in the zone land, I read that just to say that it's not always 100% the man's fault.
Yeah.
And in this particular incident, it needs to be highlighted because it's both of their faults. Yo, Corey, I don't know about you, man.
Yeah.
But I think that if I get hit with a soap dish,
Yeah.
I think that I may be I maybe need to be leaving this relationship. Because Corey, you can get into, and I know with your wife, y'all have argued and got into disagreements.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Corey, you on a whole nother fucking level when you throw glass soap dishes. I want you to think about the soap dish that may be in your shower.
Yeah.
I think if you
It's a
throw
fair
that,
size.
it could do some really, really bad damage. And they quoted it was a small laceration. But you know,
Yeah.
Corey, you know, when you got money and stuff, you know, your press team is really good at things. That
Oh,
small, that
oh
small,
yeah.
that small laceration could have been this big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
small is relative. Small is relative.
Absolutely.
Small is relative. You know what I mean? And you know, here it is again. And again, I want to highlight that was June 2020. Here we are almost a year later. And here's Mr. Ozuna in the hallway choking out his wife and beating her up with a said cast on his arm.
God almighty.
Corey, I want to go back to the soap dish. And you correct me if I'm wrong, if my assumptions are off. But like I said, you know, you and your wife have argued, I know, and I just think that I don't think that it has ever come to throwing anything.
No.
Let alone a said soap dish. I want to go.
Nah, bro.
It's in me, Corey. Again, I'm not trying to be funny. I just want people to.
Yeah.
I want people to walk with me here. I want people to walk with me because, like mentally here, for you to be in the heat of the argument.
Yeah.
And your mind says, go into the bathroom and grab the said soap dish and throw it at this guy. That's a whole different level of thinking. I just want, because again, when you argue with your wife, I know for a fact your mind never says, let me go into the bathroom and grab said soap dish
God almighty.
and throw it. You know, I don't think so. Even with me,
No.
the arguments I've been in with my wife, I never had the thought of saying, go into the bathroom and grab said soap dish and throw it at my wife. It just never occurred to me.
Yeah.
It's just a different level of thinking. And that's what I want to point out. So, a year later almost, we have Mr. Ozuna, injured reserve, has the cast on.
Yeah.
He's hitting his wife with the cast. People out there in zone land, I don't know if you ever broke anything. I haven't, but guess what? I've been around people who have, because guess what? At some point in my life, in high school or middle school or something, I have signed the cast.
Yeah.
When I signed that cast, Corey,
Thing's tough as a brick.
it felt like a log.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to go through his mental state as well. You're in an argument with your wife, and you're on injured reserve. What possesses you to raise your cast up and try to strike a lady? I just want to. That's a different level of thinking. Saying hurtful words, absolutely. I hate you, you bitch.
Yeah.
You crazy motherfucker.
Yep.
Get the fuck out. All natural. Natural ways of thinking, for the most part.
Yeah.
Raising a cast, striking someone with a cast like you are the second coming of fucking M. Bison.
Talk to him.
Throwing a soap dish. I just want to point out the level of toxicity in that relationship. First of all, Mr. Ozuna, you on injured reserve. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck
Fact.
down. Brush your goddamn
Number one.
arm. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Second of all, dude, yo, we have like, they're both from the Dominican Republic, I think, which was listed. But the thing that bothers me, Corey, is this looks like another black man beating on his wife. This looks like another angry black athlete who's out of fucking control and beating on his wife. And that's the really part I really
Yeah.
hate about this situation, man. I really hate. I really hate. More. I really hate the fact that another female is in this sad situation. But I hate the
Yeah.
fact that just not a black man is painted this way, because that's how it's going to get painted. You know that it's going to get painted that way. It's not going to be.
Yep.
It's not going to be painted. It's not going to be looked at as a Dominican Republican guy who was beating on. It's going to be like, yo, look at that black man. That's
Ain't no benefits of the doubt going to be given.
No, Corey. And I hate that narrative. I hate the fact that it happened to another woman. I hate the fact that here we go again with it's just another person under the Ray Rice stipulation. It's just another toxic moment and another stink that's going to be on black people and black couples. It just is.
Yeah.
It just is. It's just that stink is going to be on black couples, black athletes, black women who stay with their athlete because of the money situation. You don't know why they've had 2 incidences. You don't know why each other are staying. Obviously, it's toxic. I couldn't fucking stay. If I get hit in the head with a soap dish, I don't expect my woman to stay if I hit her with a fucking cast. Or if I'm in the hallway choking the shit out of her, Corey, I don't expect her to stay. Like, yo, man, if it's that bad, yo, for the sake of both of y'all mental health, for the sake of both of y'all careers,
facts.
Just fucking leave. That's it. That's all I got. Just leave.
Oh man, I didn't know about this story until you sent it to me earlier today, and I read up on it. And a few things came to my mind of the whole wash, rinse, repeat deal with domestic violence, with people, period, let alone athletes and things of that nature, right? And when you use a very interesting word that I would like to expand on, and it's called thought or thinking. What was you thinking, right? And to me, a thought is just an action that hasn't been performed yet, right? And so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, this could really go to anything in life, but let alone, let's just keep it right here in the wheelhouse. Let's just say, hypothetically, my wife just really just ticked me off. Like she just really ticked me off. Yep. And let's just say, and again, I want to make sure y'all are hearing this hypothetical, but that ain't how we get down in the Smith household. But hypothetically, man, you know what, man? I want to throw her down a flight of stairs, right? And here's where I'm getting ready to go. The thought of pushing her down the stairs. Let's just say if I thought I wanted to do that. Okay, cool. You could think a whole bunch of things. But then to follow that thought up with action and to complete that action to actually do it
different type of mindset.
Is a whole nother ballgame.
Yep.
That's a different mindset, one I just cannot subscribe to. I'm going to get my Steve Harvey on for a few minutes here. I know a lot of people don't like him. He makes a lot of great sense. If I have a daughter, I will force her to read his book before dating. That's just me personally. But getting back to this here, I've been in relationships in college where the woman, and you can really flip this on a man as well, where women have dated guys who are a bit rowdy. Dudes have dated a woman that's a bit rowdy. Now, rowdy is relative depending on who you ask. What do you mean by rowdy? I mean rowdy in the getting in your face type, slapping you around a little bit, whatever, putting their hands on you to grab your attention. I've been in that before. I've known women who's been in that before. And you just said it. The toxicity of that relationship is borderline beyond repair, right? And going back to Steve Harvey 101, when you're dealing with a relationship and what Ozuna and his wife should have been doing, you have to establish deal breakers in any relationship. Well, Corey, what's a deal breaker? Deal breaker is just something that you just have zero tolerance for, right? And man, if you need the cops to be in your relationship every other year, you probably shouldn't be in it. I don't care how good the sex is. I've seen people, I've been part of, relationships. Like, dude, man, why you with it, man? Oh, man, bro, you don't know what the payoff is, okay?
Right.
But after a while, that ain't even enough. You know, you, there. Maya Angelou always said, when people show you who you are, you got to believe them because they're not lying. They're telling you the truth. And I would imagine on both ends that they both saw things within one another where, this isn't cool, but I'm gonna accept it. Now, being cool and going against your deal breaker to me are two totally different things. If I have to constantly raise my voice to get my wife's attention, then obviously I'm ineffective as a human and let alone as a man of conveying what I need to have done or an issue of mine. And it goes exactly the same way with women towards men. You know, if you got to slap a dude to constantly get his attention, look, you said it best. Both of them are wrong. Nobody needs to put their hands on nobody. There has been times where I've entered a relationship and, some girls, they like to do that whole play slapping shit, right?
Yeah.
And what do? You kindly let them know, like, hey, because I've done this before and I ain't throwing no names out there, ain't like that.
Of course
But,
not.
we started dating. It was cool. And I said something crazy. The next thing you know, wow, whatever. I'm like, hey, whoa, time out. And this ain't no laughing. This ain't no joking. Hey, look, don't mess with my face. Don't mess with my face. If you feel the need to play punch me in the shoulder or something like that, hey, okay, that's tolerable. That may not be tolerable to some other guy. I can live with that. Corey, you so stupid. Well, all right, cool. But this right here, you don't mess with that. You don't mess with that under any circumstances. Because I don't play like that, man, woman, and or child. It ain't because I'm necessarily going to do anything back, but this is a deal to whereas, you know, you're hoping for a response out of me. And if you keep slapping me, I can't guarantee that the response you're going to get back is going to be one that you so desire. I'm gonna leave that where it's at because I need my job. Um, so you have to identify things, and clearly they didn't do that in their relationship with Mr. Ozuna and Mrs. Ozuna. And so I'm with you. Like, there's fault on both ends. That doesn't excuse what he did. It doesn't excuse what she did. However, we have to recognize the double standard in this relationship. And we also have to acknowledge the double standards of men versus women and women versus men. Okay. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, I go to Walmart. I say something stupid. My wife finds out I cheated on her, which I didn't, but hypothetically speaking, I cheated on her. She found out. She slaps the shit out of me right at the cashier line in Walmart. Well, the general reaction is going to be like, well, damn, what did he do? Right? That's how the flag's going to get waved. Well, let's take the same scenario, going to flip it. I found out my wife cheated on me. She didn't cheat on me, but let's just say she cheated on me. I find out about it right in the midst of us checking out in Walmart. I slap her. What's your problem? You don't do that. You're not supposed. You got to handle it better than that. Now, both instances are wrong, right? But I'm telling you how the flag gets waved. And I'm not, Lord knows, I'm not advocating for no Ozuna. I ain't advocating for no man. Here's my bigger point that I'm getting to. If you're in a relationship like that, especially, well, really both. I don't want to kind of lean on one side or the other. you need to get up out of there because it's not worth it's no there can't be enough amount of money. It can't even be for the kids' sake. Because if you think, yeah, and I don't think they have kids, but just generally speaking now,
They do.
kids
They
don't need to
do.
be even
They do. They have three.
oh,
They have
oh,
three
they do
kids.
got
They have
kids.
three kids.
So that
Yeah.
adds on a whole
Yeah.
nother
Yeah. Yeah.
element why they
Yeah.
need to get gone.
I was going to get to that in a minute, but yeah, they also have three kids, if I'm not mistaken, according to people.com. Yes, they have three. I'm gonna be clear before I put that out there. But I think I read they have three children, Corey. Hold on. Let me see. Right here. Yeah, here's a picture of them with their with three kids. Yeah,
Oh man.
they have three babies. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the kids don't need to be around that. Um, and even if the kids don't physically see it, they could feel the tension. Kids are real smart, as you know of, where they could pick up energy. You got to give kids way more credit than what we think that we should. And the double standard, the bigger point I'm getting to is what my dad taught me. He really didn't have to teach me, but when you're young, Big V, one of the things that you're taught is that if someone hits you, you hit them back. As a little kid, right? You're taught that. And so when someone hits you, when do we as a parent say, okay, well, if a girl hits you, don't hit her back. Walk away. Because see, that never really gets revisited. It's kind of
Yeah.
something that when you get older, it is understood. No one really has that talk about, hey, look, man, Snoop Dogg got a song he came out with in the early 2000s called Doing Too Much. And because in most, not all, but most situations and circumstances where the man typically has a physical advantage over the woman, you can't get at her like you getting at some other dude, which is again why you and I said, Ozuna, you need to get up out of there because you in the lose, man.
Lose
Because see,
lose.
if she keeps welling on you with soap dishes and shit like that, you getting lacerations. You think somebody in the clubhouse ain't clowning this dude? Oh man, this wife beat the shit out of him. So you catching it on one end. But then if you get back and you beat the shit out of her with a fucking cast that's probably as hard as a rock, you ain't winning there either. That's why you gotta leave. My dad told me, and he ain't really have to teach me that hard. Like, look, man, you found out when I started dating, man, you don't put your hands on a woman. You get up out that scenario. You get up out of there. Because if that's what it takes to keep the quote relationship exciting and
Yeah.
fun and
Nah.
new, then you need to invest in some video games because that ain't what it's supposed to be. Okay.
Yeah.
If my relationship with my wife is boring, then so be it.
So
We
be
ain't
it.
nobody, don't nobody be putting their hands on nobody, bro. So
No.
you as men, and that's all we could speak from as men,
Yeah.
dude. You just can't do it unless unless she coming after you with the only time I would condone doing what he did is if she's got a gun to his head or if she chasing that motherfucker with a daggone chainsaw. If those
Absolutely.
two things aren't happening, you got to fall back, bro. Like
You gotta
unless
fall
you
back.
feel like your life is in danger and looking at that picture, she don't really look like, she can, she's going to be doing him any harm from a physical standpoint. So I
That's
mean,
why she
man,
throwing
you
them
got to
soap
fall back,
dishes. And
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you can't do it, bro.
you
You
gotta fall
just
back for
can't
real.
do it.
On
Got to
both
fall back.
ends, on both ends, you gotta fall back, man.
There
I
you
want to be
go.
clear on both
On
ends.
both ends. Yes, sir.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
But we're gonna keep it domestic violence real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you've been following this podcast, we keep telling y'all we haven't, given up on this Chad Wheeler thing.
Mm-mm.
For those that are new to the podcast and don't know who Chad Wheeler is, he was the athlete who played for the Seattle Seahawks. You heard us mention him earlier in this podcast, who had another domestic violence relationship with his girlfriend, where he basically almost beat her almost into a coma. And
Yeah.
and they said that it was a mental health issue. Again, we're going to keep our eye on this regardless and see how the outcome turns out. And today was the first day of the trial. for a couple of podcasts here. We've told y'all that there hadn't been any updates, and we told y'all we was gonna bring y'all the news when the updates came with this Chad Wheeler situation to see how it plays out. I just got in just now, Corey, just this moment, literally just this moment, that the some information on the trial, and I want to read some information about this trial right here. It said former Seahawk Chad Wheeler domestic violence assault trial rescheduled to July. Rescheduled to July.
July 22nd. I just saw that.
Yes. July 22nd. You know what I mean? According to the King County Prosecutor's Office, pardon me. So July 22nd will be his first day in court, and Wheeler was charged with felony first-degree assault, unlawful imprisonment, domestic violence, and resisting arrest following an incident with his girlfriend that was alleged to have occurred on January 22nd. He pled not guilty to all three charges and has been released on bond pending trial. So yes, we will keep y'all updated on this situation. I'm definitely interested because he is pleading not guilty. I don't know how you plead not guilty to this proof. I really want to see. Like Jay told you, like, hey, what Jay told niggas on the 4-4 album. Hey man, he said, what did he say? He said, OJ said, I ain't black, I'm OJ. Okay.
Or as Little John would say,
okay. You pleaded not guilty to this shit?
Okay, Mr. Not Guilty.
Hey, man, hey.
Okay, Mr. Not Guilty.
Hey, man, I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm not a lawyer or nothing. And I know it's about, but I do know this. In court, it's about what you can prove. My nigga.
Yeah.
My nigga. It's about what you can prove. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know that, Mr. Wheeler. But it's about what you can prove. And boy, they got you dead and right. But hey, okay.
Hey, man. For all my WWE fans out there, I'm gonna say it how my man Matt Riddle would say it to me. Bro.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bro, what is you talking about? Bro, you're not guilty, bro.
Bro. Not guilty, bro. What are you doing?
I totally forgot that he pleaded not. I totally forgot about that. Like, not guilty. I get it. He's going to use the and I don't want to say use, but he's definitely going to bring up. Let me say that properly. He's going to bring up the mental issues or whatnot. So and again, this has been on the news nowhere.
Absolutely.
No.
And I want to be clear because I want to be clear. We're not making light of him having mental health issues. We're not laughing at the situation, the domestic violence situation.
Right, exactly.
We're strictly sitting here making fun of all the evidence that is in court against him, and he chose to plead not guilty. Yo, to me, it's like a fuck you in the face. It is because to me personally, again, I don't have mental health issues, so I'm speaking from somebody who is trying to imagine, putting himself in a situation where that happens to his girlfriend. I would have more remorse, I would hope, and to say, yo, I fucked up. Even if this was the meds, I fucked up, I didn't take my meds, or the meds had me tripping. I want to tell you I'm sorry. And the biggest way to tell you that I am not sorry, in my opinion, is to plead not guilty.
Yeah.
Am I off? Let me know if I'm off. Let me know if I'm off.
I mean, no, you're not off. I mean, look, man, he's guilty of something. He's guilty of something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's three charges.
If that ain't guilty, I don't know what guilty is.
It's three charges, Corey. Yeah. And he's saying, fuck no to all of them. I want to be clear about that.
Every last one of them. Yeah. This is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be interesting, and you know.
And I want to share some light on something.
I ain't gonna say I can't wait, but it's going to be tough. Yeah.
I want to share some light on something like you said, Corey. Where's the news coverage? We're the only ones covering this. We're the only ones for months and months who have said, yo, we're going to keep y'all updated. And it really has. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this come across ESPN today. Being the fact that this was his first court date.
No,
this was court date number one.
And let me tell you something real quick. When I'm watching these NBA games and any type of game, my wife is 9 times out of 10 in the living room with me, and she's a ticker watcher. Anything that's on the ticker, she's more into that than what's in the game. She hasn't seen it. So I'm going to take her word that it hasn't scrolled at the bottom of ESPN or Fox or anything like that.
And Corey, your wife,
I just haven't seen it.
Your wife is much like me because I pay attention to the ticker too, and I'm seeing all bullshit come up about Tiger Woods and how they want him to join something with the PGA, some kind of team, and all this, and it still fuck the PGA, by the way. I don't want to give y'all no time of day. You know what I mean? But I just see all kind of stuff going past the screen, but still, after all these months, and specifically today, because let me tell you something, like, again, I mentioned earlier, my wife just got through, and I'm not even going to say got through. She just went through open heart surgery. She's recovering for the next 6 to 8 weeks. So literally, but I have to be there by her side for the whole 6 to 8 weeks. So I basically don't have anything to do, so to speak, but take care of her. I set it up while I have nothing to do but take care of her. So I'm watching. I'm looking. I've been looking all day.
Yeah.
This is the first day of the court day. I haven't seen anybody. I haven't seen no ticker mentioning it at all. Nothing. I had to dig deep.
And I bet you had to Google search it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to dig. And that's the thing, when I did dig, it was stuff dating back to last year, top of the year, January. I'm like, yo.
Yep, February, yep.
Yo, where's the May coverage? Where's the June coverage? Where's everything in between? Nothing. I haven't even seen any video. Where's the footage of him walking into the courtroom? Nothing. Like
it just baffles me how you have a 24 sports news cycle. I mean, and forget ESPN1, ESPN2, ESPNU. They got a damn ESPN news channel. Where is it at there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, CBS Sports, NBC Sports, Fox Sports 1 and 2.
FS1.
I mean, on and on and on. The NFL Network.
Where's it at?
Where's it? 24. This ain't 1975 where you're only going to get sports a couple of hours throughout the week. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous.
It is.
Ridiculous, dude.
It is.
But thank you for the update.
Absolutely, man. You already know, man. To my people out here in the zone land, man, we're going to keep y'all updated on this situation, as promised. We're not letting it go. We're going to ride this thing to the end and see how this thing play out, because, again, we're interested in what is going to happen with him pleading not guilty. I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. You know what I mean? Yo, man. Thank y'all for listening to the pod today, man. We appreciate y'all. We're shooting this on June 1st. You know what I mean? We hope y'all enjoying the playoffs. We hope y'all enjoying this podcast. We appreciate everybody who's tapping in, texting us, commenting, man, emailing us, just talking about it. A lot of people have hit me and said, man, y'all are now like my go-to during the week for the sports. And we on the air like,
and that's love right there.
And that's love, man. We on the air once a week. We on the air once a week with this thing, you know what I mean? But we putting it everywhere. We got the clips on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Like, if you tap into just the clip of us, thank you for the support. You know what I mean? Because that's support for us. We appreciate that.
Any little bit helps.
Any little bit helps. You know what I mean? We're not centralizing this thing, just basing this off what it does on YouTube. We're spreading this thing out from SoundCloud and everywhere. And we appreciate people that are just tapping in, man, from all over. You know what I mean? People just, people, the interest that is drawn into people, we'll appreciate everything, man. I want to keep saying that because the support is
much love.
The support is growing, man. The support is growing. We appreciate y'all, man, for real, for real. Keep tapping in. Make sure
Word
you
up.
shop at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com for sure. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yo,
Word
Corey,
up.
as usual, my nigga, I appreciate you. Appreciate you what you've been doing for me during this hard time that I've been going through with my family, man. I
Hey,
appreciate you,
respect.
man. You know what I mean? I
Respect.
appreciate you doing the
Word up.
podcast
Hey.
with me and all.
Hey, well, and I got to give you props too, man, because I'm gonna pull the curtains back a little bit for the zone land, man. It's Big V that be coming up with these dope topics and all that stuff. He do all
Oh
the
man.
clipping, the editing, the posting. I know he's a modest cat, but he makes. Hey, I just come up here and talk. Everything else he does. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you Jordan. I'm pimping. I'm playing my role. Things work out so much better as a team when everybody knows they role. Hey man, you the captain of the ship, but I'm your co-captain, making sure that we got this and carrying my part, man. So salute to you, homeboy.
Man, I appreciate that, man. You
You know what I'm
already
saying?
know. You already know, man. That's what makes us a good team, man. You know, everybody say that. Everybody say, man, y'all make a great team, man. I like y'all chemistry is crazy, man. Like, man, we just up here talking how we talk, We ain't doing no different,
Just two fans talking shit about sports with no agenda. That's
That
it. That's the secret ingredient right there. Two sports fans talking shit about sports with no agenda.
with no agenda, man. And look, we already on episode 11. It's crazy right now. You know what I
It's
mean? Like,
crazy. Yeah,
it's
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 quick. Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
it's crazy, man. So we got a million more to go. You know what I mean? We got a million more to go. Thank everybody
Word
for
up.
for subscribing to the Skyzone.Society network. Y'all see what we bringing to the table. You know what I mean? We got the sports shows. You know what I mean? If you're a video game head, tap into the video game show, Games and Strange, airing once a week. You know what I mean? I got some more stuff cooking. But
Respect.
yo, we gonna get into all that on a later date. You know what I mean? For now, it's all about the zone, man. Please keep tapping into the zone. You know what I mean? We appreciate y'all. Tap in on SoundCloud while you at work or while you in the car. You know what I mean? Watch it on YouTube in your spare time. You know what I mean? Let us know what's cooking out there, man. You know what I mean? Until then, Corey, I'm gonna get with you, man. You be safe out here, my G.
You too, my brother, and congrats on everything. You know what I'm saying? From the wife to another 365 days around the globe to everything, my G.
You already know, man. Right back at you, bro. You know what I mean? Peace, my G.
Peace, guy.